Okay, in this lecture we're going to talk about linear equations and how we can apply our techniques for solving linear equations to geometric problems. All problems that we get in mathematics always come in the form of words, whether they're written down or whether they're spoken words. That's how real life mathematics comes at you. We've been giving you skills on how to solve things, but you won't ever just be given an equation to solve. What you have to do is interpret the words until you get the equation, which will be our mathematical model. Now in this case here we have the length of a rectangular photograph is 2.5 centimeters less than twice the width. The perimeter is 81.2 centimeters. Find the width. Alright, so let's highlight what the important words are here, because the first step in ever doing a word problem is to understand exactly what it's asking. So we're given the length of a rectangular photograph. So rectangular, that should give us some indication of what we're talking about. And it is 2.5 centimeters less. Now this less is a very important word. Less than twice, this is another very important word. Twice means 2 times the width. Okay, so notice that the length is given in terms of the width. We're also given that the parameter, alright, the perimeter I should say, is in fact 81.2 centimeters, and we're asked to find the width. Alright, so a little picture is always good. So what I have here is a rectangle, and we have the width. Let's call this the width here, W, and the length is in terms of the width, and we're asked to find the width. So our second step in this is to assign a variable. So we're going to say, let's suppose, let W equal the width. This tells me the length, L, is going to be equal to twice the width, but it's 2.5 centimeters less than twice the width. So it's going to be 2W, but we have to take 2.5 off. Less than, alright, so it's 2.5 centimeters less than twice the width. Alright, so what we have here is 2W minus 2.5. Right, now the next thing we're told is we have the perimeter. Now the perimeter, of course, is how far it is around the outside. So our next step here is to see if we can work out an equation that we will need to solve. The perimeter here, of course, of a rectangle is going to be equal to twice the width plus twice the length. Now notice that this is the length here, because there's 2 of these and there's 2 of these, but we know the length is this. So in other words, it's going to be equal to 2W plus twice 2W minus 2.5. Okay. Alright, so we know that the perimeter here is in fact 81.2. So that's what the perimeter is. Alright, so let's spin this around a little bit and distribute here the 2 across. So what I have is 2W plus 4W minus 2.5 by 2 is 5 is going to be equal to 81.2. So notice that we now have an equation. Well, we have the equation here. So this is our model really, which is given by the equation. Right, now what we have to do is we have to solve this equation, so that would be the next step. So now what we want to do is solve this, and let's have a look. We're going to have a 6W is going to be equal to, and if I add 5 to both sides, I'm going to have 86.2. Okay. Right, so W then is going to be 86.2 divided by 6. Let's see if we can do that. That's going to be 1 and 4. So 6 is into 46 goes 7. And how many left over? That's 7, 42, so 4. And of course 6 is into 42 go 7 again. Right, so here's our number, 17.7. Okay. Alrighty, so if we look at this thing here, notice that our W, which was our width, So we're asked to find our width, so our solution here is not just that. We have to write the solution in terms of what the question asks. So the width of the rectangle is 17.7 centimeters. Okay, and you always ask yourself, well, does that make sense? And can we check, all right, to see whether this is in fact true? Well, if I put the length in here and subtract the 2.5, then in fact I should find the length, all right, and then of course I could do twice the width plus twice the length and see if I actually come out with 81.2. So you should always check. Okay, right, so the length would in fact be 2 times 17.7 minus 2.5, and this will be of course 14, that'll be 15, and that'll be 3, so 35.4 minus 2.5, and this will in fact be, let's have a look, that'll be 0.5, also be 34, so that'll be 32, or 33 actually. Right, so that'll be 33.9. Just make sure this is right. Okay, let's do it real quick. Okay, so we got 9 here. That'll be 2 actually, so we did have it wrong. Okay, so it's 32.9, like so. Right, so if I now say, all right, well, what is twice the width? Well, it's twice this. All right, plus twice the length, which is this. What do we end up with? We end up with 35.4 plus, let's have a look here, we're going to have 18, 4, that'll be 5. So let's do it over here, 32.9 times 2, we get 18, 4, that's going to be 5, and we get 65.8, and we're adding 35.4, so we end up with 2, 11, and 81.2. So we end up with 81.2, which is correct because that's in fact what my perimeter was. Alright, so that's how we checked. And make sure you remember that the solution, alright, is always written in terms of what the question actually asked.